Hello, I'm Praveen Kumar. I'm a field marketing leader with the Dell Technologies Client Solutions Group in India. Thank you so much for taking your time out to listen to us on integrated workspace and what Dell Technologies has to say about it. In today's world, people would probably have realized that there is no post-pandemic world. Where and how we get the work done has completely changed overnight. What's essential is to understand that God forbid, there doesn't happen any kind of a pandemic later, but eventually, when in times, challenging times such as this, when we need our employees to work from anywhere, to enable them to work from anywhere, to get the best-in-class productivity out of them, end user experience is the topmost priority. How do we ensure that the employee's productivity is unaffected, unabared in such challenging time situation, not compromising the organization's security, and also at the same time, have seamless access to the company's resources to get their job done? Most importantly, how does a customer's or your organization's IT team help enable a disruption-free day and productivity? This is where Dell Technology has a larger role to play. In today's world, modernized environment is key for an integrated workplace. For something to be so seamless, cross-boundary, and in case you would like to utilize the best of talent available in this country, then your company needs to think about a modern environment in varied aspects. Modernization comes in multiple facets. First and foremost, the device itself. You need to choose the right devices per se. When you talk about end user experience for your employees, the latest artificial intelligence machine learning capabilities, which comes inherent with the commercial devices today, gives you the best performance output so that you don't have complaints about the devices are slow or the devices are non-performing and so on and so forth. So the key is to provide the right device with the right intelligence and in-house security, inbuilt security. Most importantly, if you decide to onboard your employees from wherever they are, when you inculcate an integrated workplace, which is crossing boundary, you have an office at city X, but you are recruiting a person from city Y, and you want to provide him a seamless access. It needs to come with zero deployment. It needs to come with a modernized deployment strategy with zero touch, I would say, and everything out of the box. Today, you are having options to recruit people from whichever city they may come from. This pandemic or post-pandemic situation, I would rather say, has given organizations much leverage to tap into talent pool, which is available in multiple cities, who had restrictions to travel to a particular city to work for, or people who took a sabbatical or a personal time out of the career, and then they are now willing to come back and contribute to your organization. In such cases, you should be able to ship out devices wherever they are based out of, but with all the requisites which they need to work, either it is software or services or the security layers, everything coming out of the box without any kind of a disruption. And most importantly, for your IT team, it's about modernization and at the same time leveraging analytics to govern your infrastructure better, how to manage the life cycle of all your infrastructure and its devices inside. At the same time, use those data and insights to provide the best optimized experience, along with, most importantly, as what we call it as automation and very minimal manual interventions. Let's take a quick look at some of these. When it comes to modernization, per se, as an overall conception, what you get when you embark on a modernization journey, people call it as digital transformation. When it comes to specifically about your employees, it's also called as workforce transformation. When you embark on a journey to modernize your infrastructure, what you will eventually see that the recent technology inputs gives you a net gain of $2,800 per employee. It's broken into various buckets. It's not just about the hardware cost or the additional cost, because that is definitely going to be an investment which you make. But look at the IT related benefits and also the productivity gain which comes out of it. In India specifically, the large ITES companies have, client billing per employee and per hour basis. They calculate manually what should be there. And when you have more productivity coming in, and when you have more productivity gain in terms of dollars, the net gain per employee is definitely a significant impact which your organization realizes. And also at the same time, what we believe, IT doesn't become a cost center anymore. It becomes an enablement of revenue generation for your company. Quickly to touch base on deployment, now you are going to go onboard people from wherever they are, and they come on board and you announce the induction process, you send them out devices. What happens typically in a traditional deployment is when a customer or your organization places an order today to any OEM or a PC maker, the order goes to a factory. The factory, ships out the devices to your headquarters. In headquarters, your IT deployment team puts in a lot of layers, install the custom applications required for that particular project team member, and a lot of several layers. And finally, it gets shipped out to city Y, where that employee is based out of. And if he needs any query, he needs to call back again. This is a traditional deployment. It takes several hours. Studies say it takes 7 full working days to deploy 1,000 devices in a traditional deployment manner. But what happens when you embark on a modernization journey? The modern provisioning today, or the modern deployment process, saves a lot of time. Today, organizations like you have options to place an order to a PC maker or an OEM, and that OEM or the factory of the OEM ships out the device directly to your employee with preloaded software, services, security layers, or you could do zero-touch deployment via cloud. Microsoft Autopilot and technologies such as those gives you clear advantage how to embark on that zero-touch deployment process. This enables day one productivity of your employee. He or she is not going to come inside and wait for a device to arrange or device to be arranged. Here, it's all about day one productivity and productivity at the start go. When they click the button, power button, and starts a device, everything is available to them. So ready to work device is shipped directly to the end user. It's day one productivity. It takes several man hours savings for IT, and that's a huge investment. You can deploy your IT team today to areas where it needs improvement rather for mundane tasks. Now let's take a quick look at endpoint security, how to modernize the endpoint security. Studies actually says the recent trend and increase in ransomware attack and malware attacks. Just because people are working from anywhere, it also throws out a lot of other challenges as well. One of the studies says it's 99% of a ransomware attack or a security attack, cyber attack, usually originates from the endpoint device. All it takes, as I famously call out to my customers, all it takes is for one employee to open one unauthorized email, which could be a phishing or which could be a malware attack. It goes into the infrastructure, sleeps there for some time. Sometimes the malware actually surfaces to your infrastructure only after 45, 48 days. What really happens in the global economy today, if anybody has to put a value, it's $6 trillion of estimated costs of global damage today because of cybercrime. So that's a huge amount, and your organization needs to invest on the right security measures. 148% spike rate increase, and some call it even higher. There are various studies which even puts it at 200, 220% of ransomware attacks on global organization. And people, organizations have to either pay in Bitcoins or they kind of have a agreement with the attack persons, and they finally have to get their business going. 48% of the employees today, they say that they're less likely to follow data practices if they're working from home. I might not do XYZ with my IT advisory does. If I work from an office, it's more secure. But if I work from home, I tend to not follow probably the rules. So this is where 84% of the IT leaders are reporting a big challenge. It's not about the device anymore. It's also about the security aspect. So what does Dell Technology have a role to play out here? And what do we suggest, organizations like you to embark on? You need to go for trusted devices. And trusted devices doesn't mean that it needs to be on a data level security or an application level security. Of course, there are various solutions which are available. What we classify is the above the operating system security and below the operating security. So here, cyber attack can be at any point of a time, at any point of your components. Any components could be compromised, including your BIOS, including the supply chain. And also in some of the biometric data which your employees store. It could be a fingerprint or a facial recognition data, which gets stored in your device. If attacker gets access to that, they compromise your device first, and through your device, they compromise your company's infrastructure later. So this is very important for organizations to understand that it's just not about modern devices, but also how do you modernize security and get everything as much as possible out of the box itself. Now, we speak about technologies which are available. One, we spoke about the deployment processes. We spoke about security as such. There are also devices which are intelligent. There are various technologies which empanel and empower your employees to work better. For example, if an employee is working for longer working hours to reduce the eye stress or the irritation in eyes for longer working hours, it's low blue light screen. Privacy options on the screens, fingerprint or biometric access to your devices. Your CXOs get access to premium devices with even more higher security feature because sensitive data. Outside this, what we also talk about a step-wise journey to implement the processes. At Dell Technologies today, we are also consulting for organizations who wants to embark on this journey on modernization. And when it comes from an expert who has done this before on its own employees, and this has been done in Dell Technology in-house for the last 13, 14 years. This is nothing new to us. We embarked on this journey about 14 years back when we empaneled our employees for connected or integrated workplace. What used to be earlier called as work from home and now being famously termed as work from anywhere or hybrid workplace or integrated workplace, the connected workplace concept we started 14 years back. It was a step-by-step journey, but eventually we covered almost few tens of thousands of employees through that. Now, it's a policy mandate that all employees are enabled for work from home or a work from anywhere kind of an environment. Now, if your organization needs some of the best practices which are available, you can reach out to any of your Dell Technologies contact to understand how does your IT decision maker or your CTO today can get onto that wagon and get your modernization of your environment today in real progress. While coming on to this, it's just not about IT infrastructure, but also utilizing them more responsibly and in a more sustainable manner. Today, almost every other company is worried about their ESG goals. In integrated workplace, it's about putting in the right prevention of harassment, inclusive growth, diversity inclusion, and so on and so forth. At the same time, we are also talking about environmentally responsible initiatives when you are embarking on the journey of IT transformation or workforce transformation. Your devices needs to be environmentally responsible. It needs to be sustainable. So it also needs to be recyclable at the end of the day, right? So government has a lot of regulations. Your organizations may have goals on reducing carbon footprint or carbon dioxide emission and so on and so forth. What we provide from a Dell Technologies table is a moonshot goal for 2030. We are committed to either recycle or reuse one full device for every one device which we ship out to the market today. We are transforming 1 billion better lives as we speak using these kind of initiatives. In Dell Technologies' own organization, we have embarked on a policy where we will have 50-50 gender representation. And the most importantly, in all these devices and the technology material which we produce, 30 to 35% blend of closed loop recycled components are available, whether it is ocean plastic or ocean-bound plastic or lesser, I would say, lesser content which are not recyclable, post-consumer recyclable components, including carbon fiber and plastic and so on and so forth. It's all there. So progress is not just about employee productivity or user experience. It's also about, I would say, modernization and sustainability initiative, your company's ESG goals aligning with the modern transformation which you're undertaking. Thank you so much for listening to us. In a nutshell summary, modernization is all about getting a modern deployment process, modern security, intelligent devices given to your employees. It could be the right ecosystem which you're providing there, seamless access to the company resources, not compromising the security of your infrastructure, getting insights and automation enabled across. Thank you so much for listening to me. This is Praveen from Dell Technologies. Thank you.